Viewers, today we will be discussing an interesting topic, that is scientific explanation of homeopathy. Homeopathy was discovered by Hahnemann. A German physician. Hahnemann was born in Germany in 1755. He discovered the law that we use in homeopathy. Homeopathy is an alternative method based on like cures like, which stimulate healing responses to diseases by administration of substances that mimic symptoms of these diseases in healthy people. It means that the minute dose homeopathic medicine, when applied upon patient, it cures the disease. But when it is applied upon healthy individuals, it produces patient-like symptoms. From the beginning, homeopathy was attacked by some antagonistic physicians for mainly two reasons. The first is molecular or non-molecular. We shall see that homeopathic medicine doesn't compare any molecule of original drug. You see that if we use, suppose, 1 mole of original tincture or any type of molecule in 100 ml solution, in the first centesimal dilution, it will be diluted 100 times. So that 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules will be left in the first centesimal dilution. In the second centesimal dilution, it will decrease into 6.023 and 10 to the power 90 and so on. In the 12th centesimal dilution, it is 6.023 into 10 to the power -1. Approximately half a molecule will be left. For 12 decimal dilution, the condition will be the same. It means that no molecule of the drug remains in the solution. So how we will produce physiological response? For that reason, it was bitterly attacked by the allopathic physicians nowadays. There are two predominant theories. Firstly said that, first of all, said that the solvent molecules become energized by various ways. This is solvent type theory that deny the existence of any solid molecule in the homeopathic dilution. And next is solute type theory. It means that solute molecule remain in higher potency or dilution in spite of being apparently non-molecular, but some molecules are left. Jacques Benveniste was the first scientist who produced a technique or experimental design by which memory of water can be seen. This is very similar to the homeopathic principles. Basophils contain granules by the use of anti-IgE molecule. These are degranulated, and so that staining property is lost by toluidine glue. If you use water molecules about 120x diluted or 120 decimal dilution or above 100, where there is no molecule left. Thus, we have seen that after 24th decimal dilution, no molecules remain. In spite of that, it shows that staining property is lost. It means that the memory of IgE molecule is left with water molecule. And next we'll see that if use simple water molecule without IgE, no staining property will be lost. It means that water molecule can retain the property of destaining or losing staining property. This is very close to the principles of homeopathy. Benveniste explained that there is a difference in the orbitals of electrons. There may be some change of frequency or anything else that can energize the solvent molecules, here water, and so that the memory is there. It has some shortcomings. It cannot explain the justification of Shakasans in preparing homeopathic medicine because it is simply diluted. We have seen that without Shakasan, homeopathic medicines cannot work, but it cannot explain and cannot justify how 1 year old medicine can retain function, because such type of specialized property related to electronic orbitals are very transient. It cannot remain as it is in 1 year old drug. Next, another popular theory is continuum model. Lionel Conte proposed this model. This is related to singularity. When there is no matter, it cannot be said now that it is devoid of energy, as there is singularity. You drop a stone in a pond, it will certainly disappear and it will leave ripples, and these are waves that will move from the center to the periphery, so that after the disappearance of solid molecule, it may happen in homeopathic medicines. That is the theory of continuum model. It is not so simple. It is derived mathematically. In the first time and space frame, matter is present. And in the second frame, no matter is present. But there is radiation of energy. Does it work? It suffers from the same setback. It cannot explain the action of food materials like camphor, turmeric, aromatic substances, onion, etc. as antidote of most of the homeopathic medicines. Cannot justify how 1 year old medicine can retain function. The effect of time-space continuum on living system has not yet been proved. This is crystal water model. It is another theory. We know that water molecules in a solution are attached to each other by hydrogen bond. That makes crystals. By the existence of previous solute molecules, the crystallographic structure is changed so that there is a difference in crystal structure in water. According to some scientists, thus it retains pharmacodynamic property, that is the memory of drugs. But it has also suffering from some shortcomings. It can neither reasonably explain the cause of proving symptoms in healthy persons, because if we use healthy water, it cannot produce disease. And it cannot explain higher potencies. The model of crystallographic structure is not very much persuasive, because the transient information concerning solute by means of hydrogen bonded network cannot work. The body fluid will automatically re-equilibrate them and form newly clustered network. And some crude materials are acting as antidote. If such is true, this cannot be explained. And healthiest water, we are saying that the purest water, it is never occur in nature. Always there is some percentage of solid molecule in water, might be very trace. Now we are coming to represent an explainable theory or workable hypothesis. Just see, as Hahnemann has directed, a hard elastic support should be used, like a book, binding book, etc., upon which there should be strike by glass vials, inside which left the medicine. There is a effective downward stroke and a relaxed recovery stroke, by which the solute molecule is bathed with numerous solvent molecules, so that its orientation is changed. This is called succussion. Succussion is to some extent comparable to sonication. Sonication is a property, a power that produces special orientation of solvent molecules around the solute molecule. This is Pond's method of ethanol precipitation of protein. It is done in laboratory by decreasing dielectric constant of the solution by adding some ethanol, by which protein, DNA, etc., and other molecules are concentrated towards the bottom of the solution. Same thing may happen. We use alcohol in homeopathic medicine. That also decreases dielectric constant, by which there may be a sort of loss of homogeneity. This way. We use alcohol, and fresh alcohol is used in every steps of dilution. Thus, homogeneity of the solution is lost. This is due to fall of dielectric constant. And another is Sakasha. You use a lemonade bottle. You deeply occlude the mouth of a lemonade bottle and suckers it rigorously. After that, you decant some fluid. After few attempts, the sharpness of taste will certainly decrease. Thus, Avogadro's law does not work, as because the carbon dioxide molecule is disproportionately coming out from the solution. We may call it pluvial dilution. This is the motto of our explanation of homeopathic medicine, how they remains molecular, even numerous attempts of dilution. So that without defying Avogadro's law, you can prove that homeopathic medicines may contain molecule. We shall see. There is a loss of homogeneity, so that when you try to transfer a liquid, the solute molecules will move at a higher speed towards the drop and will be transferred to the next dilution, by which the solute molecules will remain in the next dilution, by which you can get even 200 C potency or 200 centesimal dilution. Solute molecules will remain there. This is a mathematical model by which it can be explained. C or molar concentration equal to 1 by dilution, you know. It is true after a certain limit. If you constantly produce ritualized succussion, CF value would increase. And this will prevent the medicine from reaching non-molecular state. CF value is the pluvial concentration. In the initial stage, its value is very low and negligible. But when it reaches in a higher concentration, higher dilution, the CF value will be increasing considerably, so that zero molecular dilution will never be attained. Next. This is an interesting experiment by which we use different dilutions under UV spectrophotometer by using copper sulfate. We observe that if you do not suckus, just simply dilute, the existence of copper sulfate molecule will be lost even in 6 centesimal dilution. If you use succussions in every steps of dilution, it will retain up to 8x or 8 decimal dilution. But if you use succussion as well as ethanol in the medium, it will retain up to 14x dilution if you prepare it cautiously, that the molecules will be precipitated towards the bottom. You lift it with a dropper and transfer. This way you will get up to 14. Up to 14 we could measure by this experiment. But after that, this was non-detectable. It would require more sensitive instrument. This way, this is the graphical representation of the result. You see that you simply dilute, there is no value. That is, within a very short period of time or after dilution, after 6 centesimal dilution, it will attain non-molecularity. But if you use succussion, it will retain molecule for little more. And if you use ethanol, due to loss of homogeneity, the solution would remain towards the bottom. And by repeating the step, you can retain molecule up to more dilution. This was the experiment which was done by Chikraman et al. And by this way, they used atomic absorption spectrophotometry, because these are very much sensitive instruments. Especially for copper and zinc, they have used several other materials and observed that the solution is not non-molecular. The metallic solute is left far above apparently or so-called non-molecular dilution. They have observed by scanning electron microscope or transmission electron microscope some nanoparticles or nanomolecules at the upper surface of the solution. It will require a special type of technique. Sometimes it may remain at the bottom, sometimes at the upper, depending upon the nature of the solute. We have done similar experiment, and it was observed under atomic absorption spectrophotometry that even in 1 m dilution, some molecules remain. This was done for copper. Because it is very much sensitive, we use it as a homeopathic drug, Cuprum metallica. That is very much sensitive, and you could measure it very effectively by atomic absorption spectrophotometer. And zinc also. For other materials, it is not so sensitive. Homeopathic drugs for plants and animal origin, it will not get such picture, because they will be so much covered by solute molecules that such will not be left. But it will certainly see some alteration in hydrogen bond structure, and by which you could indirectly observe that these molecules are left. Actually, the alteration of hydrogen molecular structure, or it is hydrogen bond structure, is not the cause, but the effect of succussed molecular dilution. This is a special method of medicine preparation by liposome model, a technique that is done by sonication, by which liposomes are prepared, within which drug molecules are settled. Several anti-tumor, anti-cancer drug molecules are lodged inside liposome by this technique. Liposome is a kind of specialized lipid vesicle composed of phospholipid bilayer and water inside. The same model we can apply upon homeopathic medicines, because homeopathic medicines also contain alcohol. This way, ethanol has a hydrophilic head and hydrophobic tail. Ethanol molecule has a hydrophilic head and hydrophobic tail. you use water solution, the positive and negative charge of the drug molecule will remain wide apart. But if you use alcohol by ethanol monolayer, that will remain close together. If you use succussion in every step of dilution, ethanol bilayer will be produced. And if you increase potency, that will be more compact and more compactly covered by ethanol molecule. Thus, the drug molecules will be housed inside the ethanol bilayer. Ethanol is also used for missiles. They are also used for carrying drug molecule. That is, Hahnemann did far earlier than the discovery of modern techniques. This is neosome-like configuration. This is also used for delivery of drugs. Drug molecules or nanoparticles are inside. That is remain inside the neosome like that of nanoparticle. Now we will discuss about mechanistic pathway of the drug action. We have established that drugs are not non-molecular. These are molecular. But how it could affect the health of an individual, this is very minute quantity that will be left inside the solution in a very minute quantity. How it can produce symptom improvers and as well as can treat the patient. This is the next topic of our discussion. Firstly, we will discuss about Hering's law of cure. Hering said that cure takes place from above downwards, from within outwards, from more important organ to less important organ, and the symptoms disappear in reverse order of your appearance. It means that from above downwards, from head to body. We know that head contains most sensitive and most important organs of our body. From within outwards. From within means from inside our body. That is, brain and nerve is considered as most inside organ. And symptoms disappear in reverse order of your appearance. It means that symptoms, firstly, I have acquainted a symptom in my earlier life that gradually suppressed by allopathic medicine, and later when we came to a homeopathic practitioner, he administered a medicine. Before my final cure, the initial symptoms that I faced or that I suffered during my childhood will return. How it occurred, we shall discuss now. This is endocrinological structure of an individual. We see that most important organs that produce endocrine is located at our head, that is brain, that is the innermost part of our body. And then the hormones move to different parts of our body and functions. The generalized hormones are at the pituitary, and the specialized hormones, our thyroid, adrenal, gonad, etc. So that brain is the innermost organ of our body, and then endocrine gland that produces hormone, and exocrine gland that produces enzyme. Then visceral organ, muscles, etc. As Hering has said, vital force is always from inward to outward, that throws away disease from interior to exterior. disease force has always a tendency from moving from exterior to out inward. Like you say, a virus, a bacteria always attack a person and try to move interior. That I am suffering from a disease, my previous generation might have been suffering from that disease, so that it became my internal character. So disease force is always external. Any physical force, anything, always external. No, there is no exception of it. Always external. As I am seeing that it is internal, my genetic disease from coming from gene for DNA, but it was accumulated or laid down earlier of my generation. In my previous generation, he has suffered from some bacterial attack. My forefather, etc., might have been suffering from bacterial attack. So we are seeing that from internal, actually it is not internal, it is external. And medicinal force is from external to internal. It stimulates the vital force. Homeopathic medicine generally do not have any specialized property to suppress any disease. It can stimulate the vital force by which the disease symptoms run away, or the disease causing agents run away from the body in any form. Vital force has some forms, that is immunoglobulin or enzyme or other things that repel the disease from interior to exterior. And even different types of proteins are produced inside human body that repels the virus and bacteria. That is complements, maybe complements, anything that repels out this disease force. We see how it occurs. These are, say, some bacteria, virus, etc., moving from exterior to interior. There is a tendency of all virus and bacteria or anything else, environmental factors, any cause that produces disease, all have a tendency to destroy the interior of our body. This is medicine, homeopathic medicine. It will run faster as because it is very much dilute, so that the bacteria and virus will run away due to arousal of stimulation of vital energy. Inside our cell, there is also interior and exterior. What is interior? The nucleus is interior, the interior-most part of a cell, and it remains separated from other parts of the cell by specific compartments. These are made by endomembrane system. The medicine cannot move up to nucleus. Most important minute protein factors, transcription factors, minute enzyme remain close to the nucleus, but most functional enzymes are towards the periphery. The minute enzymes are more important for stimulation, that remain very near to the nucleus. Generally, allopathic medicines cannot move from exterior to interior because it is of higher concentration and it cannot traverse the selectively permeable membrane, plasma membrane. But homeopathic medicines having higher velocity and minute, so that it can enter inside through the lipid bilayer, and the strength of the capsule that is produced by ethanol protect them from moving from exterior to interior. Sodium chloride, if you use simply dilute, that will not move from exterior to interior, but we use it as Netramune homeopathic medicine. By potentizing the solution, it will be covered by special orientation of ethanol molecule, because succussion is like sonication, causing special orientation around the solute molecules. Now see how it enters inside. This way it can enter and can bind the minute protein factor, transcription factor, etc., and can produce symptom in healthy persons, as well as can cure the same in patients. This is a simple metabolic pathway, that is macrometabolic pathway. We see that is phenylalanine metabolism. Phenylalanine is a compound that is produced in our body. There is a disease, phenylketonuria, in which there is a blockage by which phenylalanine cannot go to the proper metabolic pathway, so that phenylpyruvic acid become accumulated and is excreted as urine due to overflow. There is a disease. Always there is a scantier flow and overflow. In some metabolic pipelines, there is scantier flow, and sometimes there is overflow. There is no exception topic. There are other diseases also, that is melanin deficiency in skin, because phenylketonuria patients has low melanin due to blockage in the metabolic pipeline, so that their melanin content in skin is very low. Their skin is whitish in color, and urine produces much phenylpyruvic acid. Similarly, for other metabolic products produce other diseases also. There is no exception in every chronic disease, that in healthy individual, if you take gel electrophoresis, in disease individuals, some protein bands will be of low density and some will be of higher density, due to the reason we have discussed. There are some minute metabolic pathway in our body that are cause of disease in human body. You see, first is for healthy. This is a pipelines that is much minute that we have seen. That is macrometabolic pathway in the previous discussion. But now we are discussing a very much minute enzyme systems that we cannot see, cannot be experimented easily. But in indirect way, their existence can be seen. That we have exemplified phenylketonuria, that are macrometabolic pathway, can be experimented directly, but there are some micrometabolic pathway in human body. You cannot see directly, but indirectly it may be evidenced. In a normal healthy individual, there is no blockage in the pipeline. So the every metabolic products, here micrometabolic product, move through the pipelines. But if there is a disease, there is a blockage, you see red color. This is a blockage by which the metabolic products cannot flow. Some places it is overflowing and some places it is scanty flowing. There is a hammer. It is the representation of homeopathic medicine. If you strike it with the hammer this way, it will flow outward. and the older symptoms would remain. That previous condition, when that blockage entered into the pipeline, will come, and that will produce the ancient symptom. It means that the doctors will see that the older symptoms are returned. That is vital force and disease force. By subduing vital force, disease force coming inside. But we use practical medicine by attaining simillimum. You can throw away disease force from our body. And thus, the normal condition of our body is regained. This is a metabolic pathway, but you cannot say it. You can say micrometabolic pathway, because you cannot directly identify or purify the enzymes and measures their amount. But by indirect way, you can construct this model. This is not a macrometabolic pathway. Enzymes are so minute that you cannot detect. But if you use medicine upon normal individual, you will see symptoms. And also, there may be similarity or affinity with other medicinal symptoms, and also the duration of activity, by studying which you can construct such type of metabolic branching water pipe in human body. In healthy individual, there is normal flow of metabolite, but in diseased individual, there is a blockage. Sometimes it produces overflow, and sometimes it produces scanty flow. If you remove the blockage, the patient will be cured. The different name of the medicine represent different hypothetical enzyme with which the medicine molecule binds. That is minute enough. You cannot detect directly, but you can observe proving symptom by which you can construct this type of metabolic pipeline. Suppose a patient came to the doctor with symptoms of bryonia. Here the blockage is at bryonia position. The minute enzyme is less or scanty in amount, so that some symptoms will be there. The patient is suffering from fever, cold, etc., dryness of the body, coughing constantly, etc. You will use bryonia, administer him, and he will be cured. But after a few months, he will be suffering again from the disease. You will see that it will not properly cure, because there is a secondary blockage at the sulfur point. If you do not remove that blockage, the medicine will recur. The disease will return, or the recurring of the disease. You will have to remove the second blockage also. Firstly, you remove the blockage at bryonia point by applying bryonia. The pure symptoms of sulfur will appear. Then we administer sulfur. The sulfur blockage will be removed, and there will be sufficient flow in the pipeline, and the patient will eventually be cured. This is the genetic explanation of homeopathy, how it occurs. There are two types of disease. One is due to deficiency of beneficial product in our body, and other is due to accumulation of mal product in the body. This is the first case. That is accumulation of less deposition of beneficial product, because the activator of the particular enzyme is less secreted, so that there is a deficiency of beneficial enzyme. Eventually there is a loss of product. If you use homeopathic medicine this way, it will bind with activator molecule, and that will produce further deficiency of useful product. that causes transient aggravation by medicine. But by the resistance mechanism of the body, it will produce more activator molecule, and by which the beneficial enzyme will be produced more, and the deficiency of the product will be addressed, and it will produce more, so that the patient will be cured. This is called amelioration. The activator molecules are producing more, so that the patient is cured. Next is the patient is suffering from oversecretion of deleterious enzyme, so that there is oversecretion of deleterious product, by which there is an accumulation of product and accumulation of deleterious product. The patient is suffering. You use a medicine by which it will cause aggravation of symptom, because it will bind with repressor, so that deleterious enzymes will be secreted more and deleterious product will be more. This will be accumulated in body, and the patient will be suffering from more symptom, more severe symptom. That is the initial approach. But finally, there will be resistance mechanism, and repressors will be produced more. There is amelioration, by which the deleterious product will not be accumulated in the body, and enzyme will be secreted less. By this way, ultimately, the tissue will be an abode of beneficial cells, that is competent cells, by the use of homeopathic medicine. Homeopathic medicines, according to several scientists, are nothing but stressors. It can produce stress, so that the body will combat with the stress. The healthier cells will survive, but the weak cells will die. This is achieved by this way, and the tissue becomes gradually filled with healthy cells. This is actually called hormesis. For allopathic medicine, the condition is reverse. It is mainly stress removers. It can remove stress for a transient period of time. After that, the disease cured temporarily, but the tissue becomes an abode of weak cells, so that the dose of medicine is increased. Ultimately, there will be wearing effect, or there will be less effect of the allopathic medicines. The tissue will be filled of this type of cells. A simple example can differentiate the homeopathy and allopathy. If you use a homeopathic medicine in higher quantity, it will produce disease-like symptoms in patients. But if you use the medicine higher in quantity in allopathy, it will produce symptoms opposite to the disease profile. For a blood pressure patient suffering from hypertension, you will use anti-hypertensive medicine, it will cure. But the same medicine, it is used in human being of healthier type, or he is not suffering, he is quite fit. He will show that the blood pressure is decreasing, not increasing, but decreasing. This is the opposite effect. In case of homeopathy, the application of medicine in higher doses increases the disease. In case of allopathy, it produces the symptoms opposite to the disease profile. That is, in case of homeopathy, it is similarity or similibus parentum. In allopathy, it is opposite, contraries parentum. So that these are two opposite branches of medicinal science. But in some cases, when homeopathic medicine cannot be chosen or cannot be selected, there is no way except use of supportive allopathic medicines. If the medicine is diluted properly following Hahnemann's method, strictly with limited use from single vial, its medicinal property is never lost. Conversely, its penetrating ability increases with dilution. It can affect minute protein factors of physiological importance to bring symptoms in healthy persons or provers. And minute application of the same cure the patient. The knowledge of similar principle helps us to identify them indirectly in terms of medicines. Identify the factors, not in terms of proteins, but in terms of medicine that are identified indirectly by this way. Thank you all for your patience.